Welcome. What is going on, everybody? Try to get this streaming on all platforms here. All right, we good there? All right, I think we're good. What is going on, everybody? Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know. Today was obviously a lot later, so I'm coming on here basically a little bit just before noon. I'll kind of explain and talk about what the day was like today and why I obviously why I'm doing the show at noon. So I was kind of mentioning it yesterday, wasn't fully mentioning it. I knew Luka was going to have a presser today, but we weren't 100% sure what time yet. So I didn't want to confirm anything or tell anybody that I wasn't going to do the show at 8 a.m. until I knew 100%. So I was like, all right, let me just kind of, and I found out last night. I knew exactly what the time was going to be. So I'm like, okay, well, then I can't do, obviously I can't do my show live. So we're going to do a regular Sliwa show just like we do at 8 a.m., but we're going to do it basically just a few minutes before noon. And we got a lot to react to. Man, today was a very, very interesting day. I got a lot that I want to get into. I was there at the presser, got a chance to listen to obviously everything, connect with a few different people, ask my own question to Rob Pelinka, and then shot back up here to get ready for the show. So I'm looking forward to this show today. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys taking the time to continue to support the channel, the show, and everything else. So thank you very much for doing that. Quote of the day. Quote of the day. Here's what we got. Quote of the day today. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. Got one other one that I want to do. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. The other one that I want to do too. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value, or woman for that matter. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. Two really good quotes. I saw these a little bit earlier today. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to use both of them. I didn't know which one to pick. I'm like, I'm just going to pick both of them. All right, let me give everybody a quick rundown of the show today, what we're going to do before I do get started. Guys, we're about just under 1,000 subscribers away from 30,000 subscribers. So I just hit over 29,000 yesterday. I really appreciate everybody's support. So thank you for being a part of the show. Please subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. I just started memberships. Yesterday, we started memberships. Be an MVP on the channel. It's an MVP membership. I am 1,000% going to be doing exclusive content to members. You'll have special emojis that you can use as well. Or it's just a great way to support the channel. It's $2.99 a month. So it's $3 a month. I had to kind of price that out. I'm like, all right, what does coffee cost? Let's do under a cup of coffee. So that's where we are on that. So if you guys would like to be a member, would greatly appreciate your support. Here's a rundown for today's show. I got to kind of just tell you guys a little bit about the vibe down at the presser. If I could be completely honest with everybody, I think it's really important to talk about what just occurred with this Lakers franchise. And this is the first time in this introductory press conference that you're introducing Luka. I just want to give everybody just kind of an idea what it felt like being in that building, talking to other people that are associated in the NBA. I think you guys will find it. I think you guys will find it very, very interesting. And like you guys mentioned as well, how everybody has been in shock. I want to paint that picture for you guys a little bit. Pelinka told a story of how it all went down. I'm going to play clips from the presser, by the way. So if you didn't get a chance to watch the presser, I'm going to do my best to kind of give you guys what I thought were the key pieces of the presser. One of them was Pelinka explaining, here's how it all went down with him and Nico Harrison of the Dallas Mavericks. I kind of find it fascinating. So we'll play a little piece of that. What to expect by Thursday. So a lot of questions were asked before me. I had some curiosity, feelings, emotions, things like that. But a lot of those questions were already asked. So by the time I got a mic, I did ask Rob Pelinka about short-term vision, as in this team before Thursday comes up. and then the long-term vision of basically trying to build around Luka. So I'll play that as well. For those that really want to see some major moves by Thursday, I don't think that's happening. I think Rob Pelinka actually made it pretty damn crystal clear. Probably don't expect much by Thursday. So we'll spend some time on that. Really good clips from some players' thoughts around the NBA. Markieff Morris, former Los Angeles Laker, won an NBA championship with the Lakers. He's part of this deal as well. Markieff got some time to sit in front of the media and talk. And one of the questions that was asked was specifically about the reports Luka's not conditioning, this and that. His response is very telling. I think if you listen to, I got a soundbite from Michael Porter Jr. of the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, Maxi Kleber. I don't have his, but he talked a little bit about it as well, and he almost kind of laughed at the idea that Luka is not taking his job seriously. So if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan, I got to be honest with you. I don't think anybody in Dallas is feeling any better today about the situation, and obviously the Lakers are just taking advantage of it. Let's see. Players' thoughts. Okay. AD talked. They had a practice today, shoot around, whatever it was. So Anthony Davis talked. I grabbed that clip as well. We're going to hear from Anthony Davis for the first time since he was a Los Angeles Laker. So he'll kind of give that perspective. And then Lakers tonight taking on the Clippers. We'll get a little bit into that. And then we'll do, this has kind of been the way the shows have been going lately. We're just going to go as long as we need to go. We'll have a good time doing this show. I'd like to get my thoughts in, and then I'd like to spend some time getting your guys' reaction and whatever questions that you have. And whenever the show ends, the show ends. And then a little bit later, I'll be getting ready to head back down to Inglewood so we get ready for the Lakers and the Clippers tonight. Oh, by the way, there's a game tonight. Lakers are taking on the Clippers. All right, let's get the show started. Let's see what we got here. I'll just right out the gate get a couple of these comments in. Luka's a Los Angeles Laker. Awesome. Luka will be just fine. It will take him some time to get over it, but once he gets back on the court, everything will be good. Yeah, that's a conversation. It's Luka. Let's go Slee. All right, what else we got here? Sleewa. Yep, that is me. Great question at the presser. Slee, thank you, brother. Laker Blue 88. By the way, want to know something about Laker Blue 88? He's a member. He's an MVP member. I get this like little notification here. Amir. There's another member right there. All right, appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Let's get the show started, and we'll go from there. The vibe at the Lakers training facility. The shock that everybody's been feeling since Saturday has not gone away. It is not. To me, it's even more of a trip that I was driving down to El Segundo this morning. Why was I driving down to El Segundo? I was driving down there because Rob Pelinka and the Lakers organization are introducing Luka Doncic as a Los Angeles Laker. What the F? What are you talking about? Okay, get down there. A lot of familiar faces, right, within the industry that I know. Dave McMenamin, Jovan Buha, Dan Wyke, Kobe Price. Go down the list of different people. A good buddy of mine that does some producing over at Sirius XM, the NBA channel, Mike Pearson, used to work at 710. Sasadano down there. Just kind of going down the list. Every single person you chatted with. What the hell's going on? How are we here? What are you talking about that this is about to happen? What are you talking about that he's a Los Angeles Laker? Everyone is still in this complete shock mode. None of it makes any sense. How can a 25-year-old who just got to the NBA Finals get traded to the Los Angeles Lakers of all teams? Nobody else got a shot at him. Nobody else, the GM of the Dallas Mavericks, didn't have any conversation with anybody else. If you think this morning it's starting to wear off, it is not starting to wear off. I'm sitting there. I'm in the second row. And, you see people. I'm on the left-hand side. To the right-hand side, they're going to see Luka and Rob Pelinka first. They're going to see him because there's a door on the right side of the backdrop. and they're going to kind of have that vision of them walking up. So I just kind of start seeing people on the right-hand side start standing up. They're taking some video, this. And when they turn the corner, and then I could see Luka and I could see Rob. Luka's a Laker? They sit down. Rob addresses everybody first. Let me first say, he says something about Jalen Hood-Schifino, Max Christie, and Anthony Davis in that order. Gives some compliments to AD. They don't win a championship in 2020 if it's not for Anthony Davis doing what he did. And you have, imagine yourself at a game or a concert, or there's a big moment going on. You don't really embrace the moment because you're holding your phone. It's just natural. It happens. That's where we are in today's world, today's technology and everything else. Once Pelinka started talking, I put my phone down. I had it sitting there. I sent out a couple tweets, whatever, a post on Instagram, just photos of them there. And I just stared at Luka, and I'm like, is this mother effer a Laker? Still doesn't make any sense. So I just wanted to paint that picture, because if you think anybody that was there it's sunk in for, I don't think it's sunk in for anybody. I don't think it's sunk in for Pelinka. It clearly has not sunk in for Luka. I'm going to talk about Luka and his reaction. That man looks hurt. He looks like the Dallas Mavericks stabbed him in the back. He looks like somebody that had it in his mind he's going to be loyal to Dallas and Mavericks fans. He's going to be there forever. And out of nowhere, his ass just got traded. He looks like he's in complete shock mode. Like everybody else at the training facility. I'll go down the list. Jim Hill. Go down the list. Everybody was there. Everybody's like, every conversation you had with people was like, how the hell are we here? All right, so that sets a little bit of a table of what it was like being in El Segundo, driving down there this morning, and being there for when the presser started. Now, let's get to the actual presser, because there are some things that I want everybody to kind of listen to if you haven't got a chance. I'll play some clips, maybe a minute clip here, 2 minutes tops. I won't go more than 2 minutes, but I'll play like a minute clip. I'll stop a little bit in the middle of it just to kind of react a little, and then we'll kind of keep things going. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. And let's go. Why did I not take that down? Give me 2 seconds here. All right. Okay. Let's take a quick look here, and let's start sharing our screen, and we're going to start listening to the presser. The first one, let me just set it up. I think we all are very, very curious how the hell this all went down. At least I am. Okay. I'm very, very curious on how this all went down. Here's Rob Pelinka talking about what exactly happened and how we got to this stage where Luka's a Los Angeles Laker. He kind of takes it from the beginning. Take a listen.
Yeah, so this all started with the coffee in Dallas where Nico approached us with the concept. And because there was a partnership and a history of travel in the world between Nico and myself working around Kobe Bryant, there was a fabric of trust in the discussions. And these type of deals are incredibly intricate and complicated. And along the way, we knew there would be 248 insurmountable snags to get to the end. And there were. And so over the course of, 3 weeks, call it, an issue would come up and we'd think there was no way to climb the mountain, and we'd figure out a way. Then the next issue would come up, and you just keep going, and you stay committed to the work. You stay committed to trying to get the deal done in a partnership sense. I think a lot of people talk about negotiations in terms of who won and who lost. I try to approach a negotiation in the sense of how do we build a partnership where we can get to the end? And I think that was the lens that we worked and the premise we worked under. And when the concept was initially introduced to us, it was, hey, the only way we can even have these discussions was if it's between owner and GMs. And there was a commitment to that. And if we broke that commitment by talking to anyone else, this day would never happen. So I think trust was at the center of all those discussions. And I called Jeannie after the coffee in Dallas and brought her in immediately.
I'm going to stop everybody here for a quick second. God bless Rob Pelinka. Let's just be real with each other. if there's a win and a loss and, you want to have a partnership, I get it. I completely understand. You're competitive. It's basketball. It's this and all sports, all business, all that stuff. In a perfect world, there's a partnership where both sides win. Tell me who's saying that the Dallas Mavericks won this trade. Tell me who's sitting back right now and saying that, you know what, I think Dallas got exactly what they were looking for. This makes sense for them. This is going to really, really pay off. Pelinka might have the thought process of let's put together a good partnership. Yeah, this wasn't both sides won. It was not. Can you imagine what Rob Pelinka was thinking when Nico Harrison asked him, let's grab a cup of coffee, Lakers are in Dallas, and he sits down and says to him, hey, listen, I'm thinking I want to try to acquire Anthony Davis. Okay, tell me more. I'm thinking, maybe we could exchange Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. And Rob probably sit there if he's got a good poker face, and I'm sure he does. The guy's been in the business for a long time. He's been incredibly successful as an agent. Obviously, whether you like Rob or not, he just got Luka to the Los Angeles Lakers, so I don't want to hear anything about Rob. He's got to be sitting there and telling himself, like, what do I do here? How do I react? How do I pretend like my insides are not completely jumping for joy? Can you imagine when he picked up the phone? Let him explain it. But when he picked up the phone and called Jeannie Buss and said, Jeannie, this franchise is known for two things. They win championships and they acquire stars. Stars, the most powerful players in the history. I've heard people make this argument. Go take any great player that's ever played in the game versus any great player that's just played for the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm taking the Lakers roster. Go. You could have Michael Jordan. You could have Hakeem. You can have Larry Bird. You can have, go down the list. Have Wilt Chamberlain. Go down the list of all the greatest players that have ever played the game. Go see the players that have rocked the purple and gold. Jeannie had to have been sitting there and saying, a gift from God that Luka's available to the Los Angeles Lakers at 25 years old. All right, let's keep going.
As I do with everything, her and I have a really strong working relationship, and the fabric of that is that we share things in real time. And she was extraordinarily excited and hopeful that we could get to the end, which we were able to do.
Hey, Luka.
All right, stop it right there. There's another clip I'm going to play here in a little bit, but just that gives you a little bit of an idea of how this whole thing got started. It got started because the opportunity was in front of them based off of Nico Harrison of the Dallas Mavericks approaching Rob Pelinka. So just like Nico Harrison mentioned in his presser, this is how we got here. We got here because this was something that was initiated from the Dallas Mavericks, and then it was a matter of, Rob Pelinka to sit back. He did say, I can't remember if he said it there in a different clip, where he's talking about how they hit a ton of hurdles. They didn't know. Were they going to be able to make it happen? Were they not going to be able to happen? You got to get a third team involved. They're trying to stay under the first apron. The Mavs are. Lakers are trying to stay under the second apron. I'm sure it was very complicated, but at the end of the day, I'm sure Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss, whatever the hell it took to make it happen, if the opportunity included Luka, they were going to make it happen. Let me tell everybody something else that really, really stood out to me in this presser. One of the other things that really stood out to me was Luka's demeanor, Luka's energy, Luka's body language. Luka looked shocked. In a way, I know this is a little dramatic of a word, kind of looked sad, right? Like, he's going to try to say all the right things. I get to play for this franchise. It's a franchise. It's all about championships. Luka 3 days ago did not think he was going to be in LA and be a Los Angeles Laker. He looked, the word, the right way to put it, he looked heartbroken. That's what he looked like. Luka looked like he felt like he was in a great relationship. Things are going well. Yeah, we have some hiccups here and there. Sure, that's fine. They're in the process. They're close to getting married. And then just one day out of the blue, his girl calls him and says, I'm breaking this off. I don't want you to call me. I'm not even going to give you a full explanation why, but we're done. it's over. That's what Luka looks like. Now, I think there's probably Laker fans out there going to say, who cares? He's fine. He's this. I'm not telling you that the guy's not going to turn the page. What I'm telling you is that's the way I'm seeing Luka, is just in complete shock factor. I've been really, really wanting to try to get the right person to talk about this from a Dallas Mavericks perspective. Brad Townsend, who writes for the Dallas Morning Star. I'm going to play a clip here of his question to Luka, and I really wanted a Mavs perspective, and I'm going to get Brad on the show. I was trying to coordinate it today, but I couldn't do it, or he couldn't do it just because, obviously he's busy writing. Next day or two, or hopefully by the end of this week, I can get him on, because I would really, really love to hear from a Mavs perspective just what they're feeling, how they're feeling, what the hell just happened, all that stuff. There was a lot of chatter about Luka, his conditioning. Who knows what was going to happen in the offseason? Did he have it in his mind to leave the Mavs? Maybe the Dallas Mavericks are jumping on this early because they don't think Luka wants to be there long term. Take a listen to the question. Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning Star. Take a listen to Luka's reaction to the question in regards to his time with the Mavs and his relationship with the front office.
Dallas Morning News. So you wrote a Dear Dallas letter to fans. It was, very heartfelt. And you talked a little bit about, your shock. How are your feelings toward the upper levels of the organization, Nico in particular, or the decision to trade you?
Well, that's their decision, so I have no comment on that. They made the decision. I don't know why. But that's their decision, so I can't do nothing about it.
And then one of the reasons that was given was that there was concern that, beyond this summer, or that there's a chance you might not agree to the Supermax extension. Did you or anyone on your inner circle indicate that might be the case?
Absolutely not. It's easy.
Luka.
Absolutely not. Easy answer. Yeah, I got to tell you guys here. I don't know what Dallas just did. I got no idea what the Mavs just did. The Lakers are obviously 100% going to fully capitalize on whatever Nico Harrison was thinking. But can you see Luka's body language? Can you see him saying, the question's perfect from Brad, and that's going to be Brad Townsend's job. He writes for Dallas, for the Dallas Morning Star. He's trying to address Mavs fans specifically, and those who are following the Dallas Mavericks. Did Luka make it look like he didn't want to be a Mav? Because here were some of the reports that were out there. There were two things. Number one, his conditioning. How committed is he? Doesn't get his body right, which is what's dealing to some of these calf injuries. And the other one was, hey, we're going to probably run into some problems come a little bit later because of his contract and potential contract negotiation down the road in the summer, everything else. Guys, is Luka not telling you exactly how he felt about that Mavericks organization and playing in Dallas? And the Lakers are just basically the beneficiary of a franchise that completely botched what to do with their superstar. Luka's top 3 in the league at 25. You just don't trade people that have his talent, have his upside, are only 25 years old, are an international superstar. And oh, by the way, they just got to the NBA Finals 7-8 months ago. That's unheard of. And I think it helps to have some clarification as well from, Luka basically saying, now Luka can do whatever he wants at this point. Can he be bullshitting? Sure, he can be. I don't think he is, but Luka's in a position now where he can kind of do no wrong with Dallas. He can send out, an apology for not winning a championship. I thought I was going to play here. I thought I was going to retire. He can do all that now. He can say there was no discussion about, me not signing a Supermax or any of that stuff. That never even crossed my mind. He could do all that now, and he could be bullshitting. I just happen to believe him. That's one person's opinion. I think the fallout of all this will become more and more interesting as we go on. I think the fallout of this is trying to get more details of what happened here. I think, if you're somebody that follows the Dallas Mavericks or you're a big NBA fan, no, let's just use Mavs fans here for a quick second. You do not feel better about today because you got a chance to hear from Luka for the first time. You got to feel worse. You probably feel worse today than you did when you found out on Saturday night that he's no longer going to be a Dallas Maverick. So just really, really fascinating stuff to get a chance to hear from Luka, get a chance to hear from Rob Pelinka of just kind of how this all kind of unfolded. And yeah, so I wanted to take a quick second there to obviously highlight all that stuff and get into it from that perspective. All right, let's start looking at some of your guys' thoughts, comments, questions, and then the next topic that I'm going to start getting into is what we think the Lakers are going to do between now and Thursday, because there were definitely some signs today that doesn't give me all that much hope that there's going to be a lot of changes to the Lakers roster. So I think that's something that we can look at as well. All right, let's keep going here. Let me see. I'm going to start looking at some of these comments here. Just make sure. Sometimes I got issues when I'm on Instagram, so I just want to make sure I can't hear myself back. All right, let's start looking at some of the comments. We'll take it. Did you dap up Luka? It's kind of funny. When I saw him, first thing I did is I Euro stepped around him, and he was like, damn, that's a beautiful move. I kind of pump faked him, right? If you guys see my question when I asked, I took the mic, I went like this. So people were like, is he asking the question? Is he not? So it's a great question right there. Phenomenal question. Was LeBron in the building? I didn't see him. Did not see him. So just a heads up on that. Luka looked sad, really hurt him. Wonder if teams will trade with Lakers now. Thank you for the super, Amiv. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate you. Listen, I think, this chat, and I haven't got a chance to look at all the comments. So I'm curious what Laker fans are going to think in regards to this. I'm going to explain everything from a Laker perspective. I know there's going to be a lot of Laker fans who are going to say, Al, who cares that he was sad and he's hurt, that he got moved on from the Dallas Mavericks. This is one of the most fascinating trades we're ever going to see in our lives, period. We may never see another trade like this again. His body language, to me, is very important to see what's going on. Because what I will tell you this, I think what's even worse for the Mavs and even better for the Lakers is how this circumstance all just played out. If Luka wanted to leave Dallas, is he coming to the Lakers with a chip on his shoulder? Sure, probably. But how about if Luka left Dallas because they traded him? He felt like he got stabbed in the back. He felt like that franchise the front office had no loyalty towards him. He's joining a Lakers team that's going to do everything they possibly can to try to surround him with the right people to win championships and be a part of the Lakers for the next 10 years. You see, it's important how this broke down, because I think the fact how it all went down, how dirty he feels like he was done. I think that's important, because I think you're going to get this version of Luka Doncic that we've probably never even seen before. He's going to become even more of a killer. I imagine he'll be in the best shape of his life. I imagine that a player that's not even in his prime will start in the next probably 2 to 3 years. What's he going to look like by the time he's in his prime? So I think there's a lot of factors that go into that. And I think seeing his mood today is important. I think recognizing, like Amiv is recognizing, he does look hurt. He does look like somebody just broke up with him. It's like, what the F? I did this for you. I did that for you. Whenever you asked me to do this, you wanted me to do this with your parents, this and that. He can list, here's 15 different things I did for you that you were supposed to appreciate. And you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go. I met somebody else. And that's what it feels like with Luka. All right, let's get some more in here. Let's see what we got here. Tom, love the show. Sliwa, been there when you couldn't comprehend or believe the trade. I don't believe LBJ didn't know. Greetings from Poland. Poland, thank you very much for tuning into the show. Thank you for the super. Very nice of you to do that. Very generous amount there. Let me tell you this, because I've heard a lot about the LeBron stuff. A lot of people I've had some text. I got a text message this morning. I don't believe LeBron didn't know. People saying LeBron didn't. I don't believe it. Can I ask everybody a quick question? Does it matter? Does it matter? Like, I get the idea and the concept. Maybe people feel like they're being, I don't know, they're being lied to or something like that. Or like LeBron's always in control. We just want to get angry at LeBron. Is Luka on the Lakers? Yes or no? Do I care whether LeBron knew or not? If you ask me, put a gun to my head, Alan, do you think LeBron knew? Yes or no? I'd say, yeah, I think he knew. I know Luka mentioned LeBron called Luka right after the trade went down and, just basically congratulated him. Welcome to LA. I'm excited. I'm playing with you. So I know that people love the intrigue of those stories. Maybe I'm just not, somebody that pays too close attention to the drama. I don't care. Luka's a Laker. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in all the way from Poland. Badass. Badass that you're tuning in from there. All right, let me get another one here. Let's see. All right, here's this one. Nah, you got to give Pelinka credit, no doubt. Yeah, and I run into this a lot as well, and I think this is just part of the conversations. I run into people saying that they don't want to give, this one just fell on Pelinka's lap. And you know what? Whoever was the president of basketball, it was Magic, and LeBron just fell on Lakers' lap. You might be right. You could be right. I'm going to give him credit. Because he's in that position when it happened. All right? If you went out tomorrow and you won the lottery, I would give you credit that you went to that, convenience store, that gas station, the liquor store, wherever you went, and you timed it just perfect. I'm going to give you credit for it. You won the lottery. Maybe the Lakers just won the lottery. Well, Rob was there and he had to, obviously at least see the deal through. I'm going to give him credit. Did this tank Mavs' ability to sign stars? Ben, that's a good question. I'm going to play you guys. I got some stuff from Markieff Morris, Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic. I got some stuff from a few different people. And I think there is something about, obviously what the perception of the Dallas Mavericks are going to be right now. What is every star saying? If Luka can get traded, nobody is safe. Ben, thank you for the super, brother. I appreciate you. Shout out to a new member here, Costas. Thank you very much for becoming a YouTube member. For those who don't know, I started memberships yesterday, $2.99 a month. It's a great way to support the channel. If that is something that is of interest to you, I will 1000% be putting up exclusive content to members, probably doing things that are a little bit more unique too, talking a little bit more about the business side, about the channel, take you behind the scenes a little bit more, Q&As, things along those lines. So I'm still kind of mapping out how that's all going to be. So if you want to be a member, $2.99 a month, Kostas, thank you very much for being a member, brother. Okay, let's keep going here. I want to get into another question here, and this is going to lead me to a couple of different angles here. Let's get a couple more of these. LeBron, 100% knew. Sorry, that was just a lie. He didn't know. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, but here's the thing: that doesn't do anything for me. That doesn't really, whether he knew or he didn't knew. Let's say he knew and he told Pelinka and Jeannie Buss, guys, I don't want to do this. AD is a buddy of mine. He's part of Clutch Sports. We won a championship together. I don't want to do this. That means you are looking at the future and not the present. You know what Pelinka and what Jeannie would have done? I'm like, cool, awesome, completely get it. You have you have every right to feel the way you feel. We're going to go ahead and trade for Luka. So I just don't think it was going to have any effect no matter what. I don't think it was going to have any effect. Okay. Next thing I want to get into is what happens long-term and short-term. Before I do so, I mentioned yesterday there is a brand new partnership. It's the first YouTube partner I have that's part of the Sliwa Show, and it's with somebody that I know very well. He runs a firm. It's Brad Wallace of the Wallace firm. First off, I just want to say how appreciative I am for this individual to follow me to YouTube. So I'll tell you a little bit about Brad Wallace, and then I'll tell you, hopefully you guys never need his business. Hopefully you guys never need to call him or use him or any of that stuff. But if you do, I will be happy to make an introduction. I've known Brad Wallace for about 5 years. Since I left 710 ESPN, he's one of the first people that was giving me great advice on how to be a business owner. He's been running his practice for about 7-8 years now. He supported me when I was at 710, and then here he is now supporting me on YouTube. He could potentially help you. I hope you never need him, like I mentioned, but if you or someone you know is in a serious injury, you can reach out to Brad Wallace. You can reach out to me, and I'll make a personal introduction if you'd like. Let him walk through you and your family legal options. I'm sure it's a very intimidating and a daunting process. Let an expert in the field help you. If you're in the state of California and you're ever in a serious injury or a loved one that you know, I know there's a lot of people that are in this industry. You see the billboards and everything else. I can give you a personal connection with somebody that's as trusted in the business that you can possibly imagine. If you ever need them, I can make an intro like I mentioned. All you have to do, we actually created a specific URL as well, wallacewins.com/Sliwa. Get a free consultation, wallacewins.com/Sliwa. Again, hopefully you never have to reach out to him. But if you do, Brad Wallace, the Wallace firm, personal friend of mine, and somebody that is continuing to support me in many ways. And hopefully our relationship together, if you're ever in, obviously of need, he can help you in your whatever predicament that you may be in. Okay. Thank you to the Wallace firm, and thank you for that partnership. Let's keep things going here. I'm going to go right back to the presser. I got a chance to ask obviously a question as well. I didn't ask a question to Luka. I just asked a question to Rob. I think there's a lot of Laker fans out there that want to know what's going to happen between now and Thursday. So let me kind of set up the question. I'm going to play the question, and then we'll get to Rob immediately. See if I timed this right. Did I go to it yet? Let me forward this a little bit. I'm a little off on the timing here. Okay. Here's some idiot asking a question. Hey, Rob, just obviously make a blockbuster move like this. What is your balance of thinking long-term with 25-year-old and then also just the short-term, knowing that the deadline's coming up on Thursday, just balancing the long-term vision with the short-term?
We know that our roster has continued work to do to become complete. And just to be clear around the vision for our roster, we're going to build a roster that fits JJ Redick's philosophy, his basketball philosophy. That's something that we believe in, that we support, that we want to lean into. So in terms of roster decisions, JJ and I collaborate extensively around that and fitting how he wants to play. We know we have a need for a big. The market for bigs right now, leading into the last 2 or 3 days of the trade deadline, is very dry. There's just not a lot available. So maybe we'll be able to do some stuff around the margins. I would say in terms of a big move for that position, it's probably more realistic that would be something that comes in the off season.
Stop it right there, because then he's going to start talking about the long vision. So I put out some videos. I know a lot of Laker content people have been putting out videos. All right, what's next? You got Luka. What now? I had Trevor Lane on yesterday. Him and I were having a conversation. Throw out all the names you want, all the names that have been associated with the Lakers. Jonas Valanciunas, Miles Turner, Walker Kessler, Robert Williams, Nick Claxton's name I'm starting to hear more and more, Kelly Olynyk. There's a lot of names out there. But listening to Rob in that message, I don't think Lakers are going to get somebody by Thursday. And by the way, let me say this. I've had some people tell me, I've had some people say something to the effect of, how do I describe this? I think there's some people that have said that I'm being too critical of them wanting to make a move right now, just kind of trust in Rob. I will tell you this. I just don't want to see, I'm not asking for a blockbuster move. What I'm asking for is, can you just sort of shore up the big man situation, because you're going to need rebounding. You're going to need a little bit of interior defense. They don't have any bigs. They're going to get out rebound against the Knicks without Anthony Davis. I think offensive rebounds, it was 16-3 Knicks. So I'm not saying that Rob's got to go swing for the fences. What I'm saying is just, can you shore it up a little bit to give Luka and LeBron somewhat of a chance of making, the playoffs interesting and the rest of the regular season interesting? So that's really kind of the purpose of the question, and that's what I'm hoping for from Rob. But I don't mind him also being blunt and saying, I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't look good out there. It doesn't look good that we're going to go be able to get a big man that we feel like is going to have, a real impact on this upcoming season. Let me give Pelinka credit in this. There's a Laker fan base that is so incredibly impatient, myself included. It just kind of comes with the territory of when you root for the Lakers. That kind of comes with the territory. And I feel like Pelinka's actually been pretty patient. Been pretty patient. Probably hurt him in some ways, maybe too patient, right? You could say last trade deadline this summer, whatever the case is. But doesn't he shut everyone up by sitting there today with Luka right next to him at 25? Don't you kind of say to yourself now, if Pelinka decides I'm not going to do jack shit between now and Thursday, I think every Laker fan is going to say, okay, if that's how you feel. If he goes out there and he said, I think the term he used was kind of do some small moves around the edges, and none of them are earth-shattering, but they shore it up a little bit. It's a Band-Aid for a big man for the next, few months. And even if it's a playoff matchup that the Lakers they have and they're out in the first round, I think the confidence level in Pelinka is also like, well, what are you going to complain about to Pelinka right now? Let me kind of expose myself here for a quick second, because I've been making the argument. I've kind of said this over the course of these last couple of days since they traded for Luka. Don't stop now. You have assets. You got Dalton Connect. You got another first rounder. You got the contracts of Rui and Gabe, which probably become more tradable next year because they will both be expiring contracts. You have, let me give an example, Austin Reeves I've talked about. What's that going to look like? Maybe Reeves is a chip to go get another real player. But what are you supposed to say to Rob Pelinka right now based off of he's sitting with Luka? I'm going to tell him, go do this by Thursday. He's sitting next to Luka Doncic. Let's listen to more, because he talks about kind of the shorter term vision by Thursday and then long term.
But Luka will be at the center of that as we build for the long term. We want to format a team that fits JJ's coaching style and his strengths and his needs to help us win a championship with the other people that are also on our team right now who are going to be a big part of that winning as well. But your question was about long term, so I'm speaking more to long term.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate your time. Greatly appreciate your time. Okay, one other clip that I want to play here, because I think it kind of ties to what I was talking about. Dave McMenamin asked a question about the sense of urgency, because you have LeBron and Luka, and LeBron obviously is 40 years old. So let me forward to that real quick, because I do want to play it, and he addresses kind of that urgency as well. So let's take a quick listen to this. Take a listen.
Contend.
The urgency is ever present. From the first day I started taking this job till I sit in the chair right now, there's always an urgency to win championships. That's what the Lakers set out to do. That's the expectations of our fans, and we're going to put in the work to constantly try to do it. At the same time, you have to be realistic. And if there's not a championship big on the market right now, I can't wave a wand and create that opportunity. We'll continue to work and look for areas that we can complete and fill out the roster. But as we saw with this trade, it takes two teams. But we'll continue to build. Luka and I spent some time yesterday up in my office just talking about the players on our roster he's played with, and kind of what he sees as sort of short-term and long-term needs. And I think we'll continue to have those basketball discussions and get this roster to a championship level.
All right. That is that's what I wanted to share with you guys from the presser. Everything else now that I'm going to be sharing is some other stuff on Twitter, some other conversations and everything else. So for those Laker fans that were really hoping for some kind of move or something along those lines coming up on Thursday, I don't see it. Now, I guess the question is going to be, how do I put this? It's going to be more about what does the market look like, maybe the buyout market, maybe there's a big that you're getting for a small price, something along those lines. I think we're going to be more at that level. And if the Lakers are going to improve their roster, it's not going to be, I love what he says, I can't just find a championship big by just waving a magic wand. So I think that tells you what the market looks like. I think that tells you, obviously where the Lakers are sitting right now. And I probably would not expect anything between now and Thursday. I think what can be interesting, are there players available in the buyout market that are bigs that say, hey, I want to go play in LA? Maybe by playing in LA and getting that exposure and being with Luka and with LeBron, they really need me. And B, I can get some exposure for myself for, potentially a contract down the road. So I think that's going to be interesting. That's all going to be interesting as well. Okay, let's look at some more thoughts and some comments. And then I got some player reaction, from today, whether it was Markieff Morris, whether it was Denver Sports that put some stuff on Twitter. I think Michael Porter Jr.'s comments were interesting. Luka's as well. Nikola Jokic as well. So we'll take a look at that as well. Sliwa in the afternoon. Yeah, don't get used to that. I like doing it in the morning. Let's get that morning in there and, crank this bad boy out. So I like doing it in the morning. But if we got to go in the afternoon sometimes, then we're going to go in the afternoon. Let's look at some more of these comments here. Let's see here. What do we got here? Moises Cohen. Moises, introduce yourself next time, Slee. The Sliwa Show. Yeah, you're right. I probably should have done that. I'm a subtle guy. I'm a subtle guy. I don't need to, pump it out. We're there. We're appreciative that we're there. And we're trying to ask questions that we feel like, Laker fans would be interested in. So, all right, let's keep going here. Francis, why do I feel like we haven't played for weeks? Because so much has happened since Saturday night. That's why you feel that way. I mean, what's a trip is I got in my rundown here that I'm going to, make mention of Lakers and the Clippers tonight. It's like Lakers play the Clippers. Let me tell you what's going to happen, Lakers and Clippers. Lakers are going to play the Clippers. We'll talk a little bit about that game later. All the questions to JJ Redick's going to be about Luka. All the, questions to the players is going to be about Luka. Everything's still going to be revolving around Luka. What will be interesting to me is, will we get a Luka appearance at the game? Will Luka, be there sitting on the sideline? Will he walk down the tunnel in the arena in the middle of the first quarter and everybody just kind of, stands up? I know it's a Clippers home game, but that doesn't matter. There's going to be a lot of Laker fans out there, a lot of intrigue from Clipper fans as well, because he is in LA and he is a Laker. So that's why it feels like we haven't played for weeks, is because, obviously everything that had just gone down. Al, I appreciate you very much, brother. Another YouTube member that's going to be a part of the show. Thank you very much for being a member. Let's keep going here. We got a lot to hit on here. Al also comes in with, happy to hear some casual references to Luka signing long-term. My opinion is 90-10 that he stays in LA. What do you think? Yeah, let me tell you this about, I think this is going to have more to do this is going to have more to do with how the Lakers handle stars. Okay. The Lakers have a very unique way of doing business, and they have a very unique way of, obviously accommodating two stars. They take care of their stars. If you don't think Luka Doncic is going to get absolutely everything he needs on the court and off the court, then you just don't know Lakers basketball, and you don't know how that front office and ownership thinks for 60 years. And obviously, if I just do the Dr. Jerry Buss era, the Buss era specifically, of how important they think and everything else, and how Genie's obviously trying to take that model. And you can never replicate the model of the greatest owner in the history of sports. And I'm talking about Dr. Jerry Buss, but Genie understands what star power is. And I just tell you this. Luka feels like he was done dirty. Luka feels like he was stabbed in the back. Luka feels like he feels a lot of emotions right now. I don't think he's going to feel that with the Lakers. Now he may get upset and maybe this didn't work out, that didn't work out. Why'd they do this? Why'd they do that? But I don't think Luka's going to – I think Luka's going to be here long term, period. And I think the Lakers will do everything they possibly can to make sure that they give him the right support on the court and off the court. So I hope that answers some of your question right there. All right, let me do this, and I don't do a good enough job doing it, but I'm going to take a look at a couple of these questions here, also on Instagram. I got to involve Instagram. You know, if I'm going to be going live on Instagram, let me get Instagram to get a couple shots in as well here. Dan the Man, what do you think about the trade, Sliwa, and saying, did you ever think he would be a Laker? Of course not. Absolutely not. Never thought it. Literally didn't think it was ever going to be, something that I really genuinely, if you told me, give me a complete pipe dream of a player you'd love to see as a Laker 5-6 years down the road. Remember, I'm talking about 5-6 years down the road. I would say Luka. That's what I would say. Because Nikola, Jokic, I don't think he's going to leave Denver. And I also think, from an age perspective, he's 25. He's 25. He's 25. He's already a superstar. So it's really, really, really tough to think that that he was ever going to be, obviously somebody that's a part of the Lakers. All right, let me get a couple live ones in here real quick as well, and then I want to play. I want to go straight to the Markieff Morris piece that I have. Multi-platform Slee. Yeah, I'm not exactly. I can't tell you that I completely understand what I'm doing. Let's see here. Some guy called it 4 months ago. Well, that's great because that can't be what did they talk? They talked a month ago. So what did that guy talk to Nico Harrison 4 months ago? Maybe. Hell if I know. I want to address one thing here real quick. Nobody listening to LeBron over Luka. I had some dude hit me up. And by the way, I don't mind this at all. When people disagree with me, when people maybe don't like something that I said, it's okay. I want you guys all to know that's my style anyways, is having a platform where anyone could say whatever they want, be respectful, say whatever they want. And if you disagree with me, it's okay. Let's have a conversation. Somebody hit me with a comment. I think it was yesterday. And somebody's like, why do you keep, I think what they were trying to say is, why do I keep devaluing LeBron by saying he doesn't have a say in the matter? And I think the point was like my disrespect towards LeBron. I don't have disrespect towards LeBron. I think LeBron single-handedly made the Lakers relevant again. I do. I think when LeBron decided 7 years ago, I want to go be a Los Angeles Laker, the Lakers were relevant again. They weren't relevant for a long time. And those that, were upset at LeBron or don't like LeBron and they want to always compare LeBron to Kobe. It's like, it's so, there's no point in it. Just appreciate him as a basketball player, appreciate what he's doing for your team right now. And that's it. You don't have to get into all politics and this. I got people, I don't watch LeBron anymore. Okay, don't watch him. What do you want me to do? I don't got anything towards LeBron. I have the utmost respect for what he's been able to do. 22 years in the league. I watched a clip. This was just a random clip that came up on YouTube, and Tyler Hero is a complete stud, all-star now in the East for the Miami Heat. And he was talking about how he's got 2 kids. I didn't know Tyler Hero has kids. I didn't know he's married. I don't know anything about Tyler Hero. But the kind of the doc that the Miami Heat had put out was very about kind of behind the scenes, his family life and everything else. Tyler Hero said something. He said that I used to watch LeBron have his kids during the pressers when I was younger. And here I am now having my kids at the pressers. Like that's a moment he remembered. Luka's idol watching growing up, LeBron. I got no disrespect for LeBron. When I say that he doesn't have as much of a say, I just think that's reality. He's 40. Luka's 25. Things change. When I was making the case for Anthony Davis, they got to pay more attention to Anthony Davis because of his age. That's it. I know AD was going to be around, I thought, 5-7 more years with the Lakers. And now, obviously, he's not there anymore. All right. I appreciate all the questions. So whoever had that comment on YouTube, hopefully that gives you a better understanding. If you still think I'm hating on the man, that's okay too. You got every right to think whatever you think. All right. Let me get into a couple of these that I mentioned here. See this. By the way, I'm not good at these. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. I'll tell you guys what I mean in just a second. Let's go to we get Twitter up here because there's a few of these that I want to play. Okay. All right. That's this. We got this here. So let me kind of call myself out on something here real quick. Okay. Let me see here. Nope, that's not the one. Okay, got this one here. Markieff Morris used to be a Los Angeles Laker, won a championship with the Lakers. Markieff was part of this deal as well. And there's been a lot of chatter and conversation about Luka, his conditioning, this, that, whatever you want to look at. There's been a lot of conversation about that. Listen to how Markieff Morris talks about Luka and some of that conversation about, you know, what he is as a player and everything else. So take a listen here. This came from Tomer Azerlai. So take a quick listen here.
Markieff, there's been a lot of negative things said about Luka in the last couple of days. What is your reaction to some of that, having been his teammate?
It's a great guy, man. Super low maintenance, don't need much. One of the only guys that I've been on the team with that will play through any injury if he can get on the court. I hear stuff about him not being in shape, but if you can go on an NBA game and get 30, 15, and 10 like it's nothing, then I don't really know what shape is. I'm confused at that part, but yeah, and you'll see it really soon. You'll make the suggestion if he's in shape or not.
Okay, let me pause it here. Okay. First off, let me forward something here real quick. Somebody interrupts Markieff at the end of that. You know who that is? That's me. I have the worst timing on these. I don't know when they're done. I thought he was done. I'm the worst at these. Listen to this.
Suggestion if he's in shape or not. You'll make the.
You hear that?
You'll
You hear that idiot saying Markieff in the back? That's me. He wasn't done. Slee, shut the hell up. Let him finish. I'm the worst at those. My timing is so off. I had McMenamin do it. It was like the smoothest thing I've ever seen. I do it. I'm dumbass. Okay, take that part away. Markieff, what is he saying here? He says, I hear that stuff about not being in shape, but if you can go in an NBA game and get 30, 15, and 10, then I don't know what shape is. And he said there towards the end, before I cut him off, that you'll find out. I think we're going to get this version of Luka Doncic. I said it before. I'll say it again. I think you're about to see a version of Luka Doncic that nobody's ever seen. Naturally, just with time, he obviously is going to get better. Naturally, he gets closer to, you know, his mind and everything else. I mean, he's been a pro for years since he was, you know, a youngster. But next couple of years, he's just going to get naturally better, period. But he's going to have a different edge to him. I know he's going to feel bad for Mavs fans, but everything he's going to do, don't tell me in the back of his mind he's not going to say to himself, they traded me. The Mavs traded me. And of all organizations that you get traded to, the Lakers are going to do anything Luka asks for as long as it's getting closer to winning an NBA championship. There's going to be stars out there today that we're not talking about. I guarantee you there's going to be a star that we're not talking about that is sitting back right now with his agent saying, I don't know what they're doing in LA, but let's keep an eye out on that. Let's keep an eye out on whatever's going on there. Let's keep an eye out for it because I know Luka's the foundational piece. He's going to be there for years to come. All right, let's keep going here. Let's also pretend like I did not interrupt. Just a complete idiot with the interruption. All right, let's get Michael Porter Jr. This one was awesome. Michael Porter Jr. giving his thoughts on what went down. I'm a fan of Michael Porter Jr. I like his story, how he got into the league, how Denver took a chance on him. I know he's killed the Lakers, but he's a baller. I give that man all the credit in the world. He was asked the question. This is courtesy of Denver Nuggets. Asked the question about Luka Doncic, the trade, and everything else. He's this guy's more into a conspiracy. Take a listen here.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty confused. We're still talking about it, like how that's really possible. Just in the fact that they made the finals that last year, and it's like the only way that trade makes sense now is if they win the championship. That's the only other thing better than making the finals a year later is winning a championship. So, I don't know really. I'm not sure. I've been on the floor with Luka, and obviously he's a once in a generational player. And now, it was just a weird thing overall. So I still feel like there's some facts that are going to come out over time because it just doesn't. I can't really comprehend how that really makes sense, to be honest.
It feels like there's something else there, doesn't it?
To me, I mean, I'm not going to speak on it. I mean, that's the GMs of teams' jobs is to, look at how they can improve, and maybe they felt like they'd reached their ceiling with that group. But who knows? But yeah, it does seem a little strange.
Damn. Michael Porter's not buying it. Whatever the hell everybody's selling, Michael Porter's like, yeah, I don't believe it. I don't see it. I don't trust it. I still feel like there's some facts that are going to come out over time because I can't really comprehend how that really makes sense, to be honest. That's another NBA player. We've heard a lot of NBA players, obviously reacting to this and giving their opinion of how the hell did this happen. Kevin Durant was shocked. Devin Booker was shocked. Go down the list of all these great NBA players that are like, this doesn't make any sense. Add Michael Porter to the list there as well. Let me get another one here. This is Nikola Jokic. Again, Denver Nuggets. Let me pop this up here. This is Denver Nuggets that had the presser here. So let me get this up here. 2 seconds here. This is Nikola Jokic on what went down. Take a quick listen from his perspective.
I texted him. He felt it. I mean, of course, I think he didn't expect it. Of course, I think he just needs to be with his family right now. It's a big move. It's a business. I don't know.
I think he needs to be with his family right now. I think what he's telling you is that Luka's feeling it, definitely feeling it.
Nobody expected, especially not him. I think nobody's safe in the league. It seems like, but I think he's going to do a good job. I think he's the player for the big scene. Even though I thought in Dallas he had something special going.
All right, that's Jokic on that. The last clip I want to play here before we get Anthony Davis's reaction to the trade. Luka's dad. Did you guys see Luka's dad just tearing into, completely ripping the Dallas Mavericks? Take a quick listen here. So that was Jokic right there. Let's take a quick listen to, let's find it here. Here is Luka's dad.
Pridejo momenti, ker se ne strinjaš z neko filozofijo, ne paše ti ta igralec, ne paše ti si igralec. Vse to lepo in prav, ampak mislim, da glih ta nek.
I want to see if you guys can actually read this, or is it too small? So I'll make myself smaller on this so you guys can see it. Let's see here. That's not going to do it. Okay. That should make it big enough. Hopefully you guys can actually read that right now. See if you guys can see this. Go ahead.
Z neko filozofijo, ne paše ti ta igralec, ne paše ti si igralec. Vse to lepo in prav, ampak mislim, da glih ta neka tajnost, oziroma bom rekel kar strani nekaterih posameznikov, mogoče hidavščina celo.
I think the secrecy of some individuals, the hypocrisy.
To pa me osebno boli, ker mislim, da se Luka absolutno tega ni zaslužil.
Luka doesn't deserve this.
Saj jaz vem, zelo veliko žrtvoval se in tudi te zgodbe, zdaj, ki jih lansira nekdo, da se hoče upravičiti za te stvari, kar delajo, to se mi zdi zelo nekorektno strani posameznikov, kajti vem sam, da je Luka zelo spoštoval Dallas, spoštoval je celo mesto.
Respected the city a lot, respected the fans.
In otroka, ni mu bil problem hoditi in po bolnicah in po, ne vem, sirotišnicah in po te dobrodelne stvari. Ni mu bilo problem tudi lani, glede na to, da spet pravim, en posameznik rekel, da ni dobro pripravljen, da je lani odigral, ne vem, to ti bolj veš 100 tekem praktično.
One individual said he's not fit enough. He played 100 games. You traded him. Stand by your actions, but don't look for excuses, was the final part of that quote. Yeah, Dallas is in for a little bit of a rude awakening here. Lakers are literally just going to benefit off the Dallas Mavericks front office. That's the best way I can put it. This man's going to come out and just be a killer. He's already a top 3 player in the league at 25. Already a top 3 player at 25. That's it. Like, I don't know what else you want. He's top 3 in the NBA at 25. He's going to demolish the league. And the Lakers are literally just going to sit there and be able to benefit from it. If there's one organization that doesn't need any more help, it would be the Lakers. They got 17 chips. Okay, them and the Celtics. This man is going to dominate the league for years to come. And the Lakers can literally just sit there and say, yeah, go ahead. You just tell us what you need, and we're going to go ahead and accommodate. That was his pops. If his pops feels that way, you can imagine what his son feels. His son obviously probably is showing the emotion to him and saying, like, I didn't deserve this. Why the hell would they trade me? Look what I've done. Look what I care about the city. I care about this. Luka's about to go crazy. Luka's about to go crazy. He's about to go crazy. He's going to go crazy for years to come. And the Lakers are going to give him whatever the hell he needs. All right. So hopefully those were, obviously all interesting clips that add kind of to the context of how we got here. I'm going to look at some comments, and then I want to, like I mentioned, I want to play some Anthony Davis sound as well. All right, couple new members. Ernie, new member. Thank you for joining, Ernie. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Sammy Hermes, thank you for joining, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate you guys being a member. This will take care of my members. Don't worry. We'll get kind of special stuff for our members as well. So thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. ZJ says, you got to jump right in. Don't say his name. You just got to start talking really loud after his sentence. ZJ, you're right. That was with Markieff. I can't time it. JJ Reddit says, false start, Sliwa, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down. No question about it. But you bet your ass I got my question into Markieff a little bit later. You bet your ass I did. Okay. Let me get you guys here. Well, actually, no, let's get a couple more comments in, and then we'll get to Anthony Davis finally getting a chance to address everybody as well. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. It's not going to be easy. OKC and Wemby are only going to get better. That's okay. I mean, listen, guys, you can't be in a league or in a conference where there isn't competition. The San Antonio Spurs are much better off today than they were a week ago by getting De'Aaron Fox. Much better off. And oh, by the way, watch out for the Spurs, because the Spurs are also going to be a team that's a great destination and everything else. I'm sure Dallas was envisioning Dallas versus San Antonio. The state of Texas was going to represent the two teams in the Western Conference for years to come. But obviously one of those guys are gone. Let's see. Slee forced Rob's hand by telling him he got to get AD a big man. Yeah, maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's my fault. I don't think people would say fault. Let's take a listen to Anthony Davis here real quick. All right. So AD on this is the first time that Anthony Davis gets to talk about the trade, now a part of the Dallas Mavericks. I will tell you this. AD's energy, he looks okay over there. He looks like whatever it was has set in, and he's ready to go to, obviously try to build something in Dallas. He's going to be the man in Dallas. No question about that. The question for him is going to be in 2 years from now, if they don't win an NBA championship. It's the only way that you can justify what he did. They got to the NBA Finals with Luka. He's 25. The only way you can justify is we can't win a chip with Luka. We're going to win a chip with Anthony Davis. Take a listen to AD's reactions.
I was shocked.
Everyone else?
Like I said, I didn't know. I was actually at home about to watch a movie with my wife and got the phone call. So I had no idea. I just sent, the team text about congratulations on the win against the Knicks, big win. And then, looking forward to Tuesday's game against the Clippers as far as standing purposes, and then found out like an hour later I was no longer with the team. So
wow,
I was in shock. Obviously, had no idea that what was happening. But I mean, now it's I'm kind of over it and just kind of getting ready to play with Dallas.
What was that initial?
Now I'm kind of over it. I'm ready to play for Dallas. AD is going to be a beast in Dallas. I'll tell you that. He's going to be really, really good in Dallas. Max Christie's going to be good there too. I don't think anybody was trying to disrespect Anthony Davis in this trade because I think AD is going to ball out in Dallas, and he's got exactly what he wanted. He wanted that. Can I get a Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee? I'm talking about more size. He's going to get that there. They're going to be an unbelievable defensive team, and then we'll just see how their offense carries. And they basically prioritized Kyrie and AD over Kyrie and Luka. But that window is going to get a lot smaller, and that's part of the risk of what they're doing. Here, listen to some more here from AD.
A conversation like with Nico, and obviously you have a history with him and J. Kidd, just about the opportunity you have here.
Yeah. Obviously excitement. Nico believes in me, what I can add to this team. I know about everything that we talked about out there, but we're both, extremely excited about what we can do, and I think we have a great opportunity to win championship.
All right, that's AD right there. Listen, I know what gets lost, and we talked about this, I think, a little bit yesterday. Who's better right now, Lakers or the Dallas Mavericks? Dallas, no question about it. Like Lakers don't have any size, they don't have any rebounders, they don't have any defenders. So the roster is completely it's not built to win today. It's going to be built to win down the road. And we'll see if Pelinka can make any type of moves to just kind of, put themselves in a position where they can be competitive the rest of this year and then through the playoffs with obviously those two players. And I'm talking about, LeBron and Luka. But with all that in mind, it's going to be a tough team. AD, right out the gate, just looking at him, looks like he's in a good headspace. Looks like he's going to ball out in Dallas. Looks good in a Dallas jersey, and I don't think anybody has any hate or anything like that towards specifically any hate or anything like that towards him as a player. And I'm talking about Anthony Davis. Okay, give me 2 seconds here, guys. I got to do one thing here really quick. Once. All right, I'm back. Okay, we're good. All right, let's take a look here. So we got Lakers and the Clippers, by the way, coming up tonight. Lakers and the Clippers coming up tonight. How much of a trip is that? There's still games going on. Okay. Steve, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate you being a new member. Guys, let me tell you, whether you guys are all members, you're not, whatever the case is, I appreciate everybody being a part of the channel, the show, hanging out, subscribing to the channel. This is one of my favorite things to do is just to be able to, especially obviously talk Lakers, talk NBA. That's my stuff. I like doing this. So thank you for being members and thank you for being a part of the show. Get a couple more of these comments in and then we'll keep things going here. We're getting run out of the building tonight. You might be right. That could happen. That could definitely happen. I will ask this, from the players that are there for the Lakers, stylistically, everything is going to change. JJ Redick is trying to figure out what the hell he does. There's so much to figure out for the Lakers right now. And I don't think there's going to be help coming soon. It doesn't sound like, help coming by Thursday. So it is what it is. If that's kind of the position that the Lakers are in, I know that's a completely different mood than I was talking about yesterday, but I think Pelinka just told everybody, here's the situation. Here's what's going on. Here's what the market looks like. So in some circumstances, I guess you just got to, understand what he's dealing with and what he's trying to do and understanding that he just got Luka here. So he's got to think a little bit more bigger picture than the small window. When it was LeBron and AD, you could only see what was right in front of you. Now you're starting to look out and say, what's 10 yards, 30 yards, 50 yards out? You got to start paying attention to. Okay, a couple things that I want to throw out here real quick. AD is a pro. You are right. He is a pro. He was a man in LA too. I give that man a lot of credit. I enjoyed watching him over the years. I really do. I enjoyed watching his game and Whether you had frustrations with him, not, whatever the case is, I think most Laker fans have love for Anthony Davis. Okay, so Lakers and the Clippers tonight. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off. It's going to be on TNT, so it's going to be their first game. You know, everybody's going to be talking about this game. You're going to chance the TNT crew, Charles Barkley, Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, they'll all be talking about it. So if it's that crew tonight, I don't know. Sometimes they're on, sometimes they're not. Maybe Thursdays is when they're on, whatever it is. But nonetheless, this is going to be a really, really high-profile game because of the circumstances and the situation. If you want to just talk basketball for a second, Lakers in the standings, 28-19. They're 9 games over 500. The conversation was, when is Luka going to come back? He's not going to be there tonight. I think he's got 5-on-5 tomorrow with the team. I don't think, does he play in that first game at Crypto on Thursday against the Golden State Warriors, or does he play in that first game on Saturday against the Utah Jazz? I'm going to probably lean towards against Utah because, he also wants to make sure he's healthy. That's all he cares about as well. So, something to keep in mind from that perspective. So Lakers, they are a game and a half behind Denver. They're a game in front of the Los Angeles Clippers. We know what happened last time Lakers played the Clippers. What do I expect tonight? Hopefully a competitive game. Clippers just it feels like they have a good handle on the Lakers. They certainly play them very competitively. There's always extra juice to play the Lakers. So we'll see what happens. Game's going to be in Inglewood. I'm looking forward to being there and, obviously covering the game as well. But we'll kind of see how it all unfolds. But that's the next game for the Lakers. It's tonight at 7 o'clock. So just something to keep in mind in regards to that. All right, let's get to a couple more comments, and then we're going to call it a day. I got some stuff that I got to handle before I get back on the road and get ready to get out to Inglewood for Lakers and the Clippers. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Amir Katz. Since it doesn't seem another big move is coming, do you think this season is dead? Depends on how you describe it. By the way, Amir, who's a member, right to the front of the line. It's like we're at a club, and Amir comes up. It's like, hey, I got VIP. I'm like, Amir, get in here. Get in here. Because I know a lot of people that tune into the show are clubbing on the weekends. Let me go back to what you just said. Do you think this season is dead? I don't think it's dead, and I'll tell you why. I don't think it's dead because I think they'll do something to address having a little bit of size. Buyout market, whatever it is. They'll do something. I don't think it's dead because you have LeBron and Luka. I don't think it's dead because they're going to learn a lot from this season anyways by having Luka on the team and also just trying to figure out what it is they need in the offseason. So I think if you're saying, are they competing for a championship this year? No, I don't. I don't think they're competing for a championship. What do we got here? Mavs are refunding season ticket holders who canceled after Luka trade. Is that a real thing? Bro, they're not in good shape. Nico Harrison's not in good shape. Look, I was telling this to somebody earlier today. It's not even the Mavs want to win a championship, but I think they didn't just want to win a championship. They wanted to win a championship with Luka, with their guy. That's what they wanted. They wanted to win a chip with their guy. It wasn't just about winning a championship. It was about winning one with the guy they drafted, who's an international superstar. It kind of take the model of what Dirk was. So, yeah. Only for remaining home games. That's still a big deal. That's a big story. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to, hopefully at some point this week, Brad Townsend, who covers the Dallas Mavericks for the Dallas Morning Star. I really would love to have a conversation with him and just kind of get his thoughts on the whole situation. Let's see what we got here. Christian Wood, possible return. Hey, if there's ever a time they could use him, now's the time. So I don't know. I really actually have no idea what's going on with Christian Wood. I think most people don't, to be honest. I don't know when he's coming back. Let's see what we got here. been thinking maybe they're trying to rush Luka back. No, I think Nico Harrison has had a tendency to want his guys. Kyrie is one of his guys. PJ Washington is one of his guys. Now Anthony Davis is one of his guys as well. His relationship when he was at Nike. So, hey, we'll see. They get to the NBA Finals and win a championship, then he could flip off everybody. He really can. He can say, I got you an effing championship. If you don't like that and you like Luka more than the championship, then I don't know what to do for you. But that's kind of the bar now. You only got a championship, or this goes down as one of the worst trades in NBA history. Dallas just came off the finals, so they were closer with a healthy Luka than the Lakers were. Oh yeah. No, they're in a much better spot short term, but the Lakers weren't looking at this short term. By next year, Lakers are going to be really competitive again. Whatever they do in the offseason, however they maneuver, I think they'll be really competitive again. And then it's just a matter of building blocks for, the future. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Mavs had no chance against OKC or against Boston, and now OKC got better. Hey, listen, it's not like this move. Everybody said, that's it. Everything is going through the Mavs. That's the team everybody's got to beat. No, there's going to be 2-3 teams that will be headaches in the West, and that's before the trade deadline. And there's going to be 2-3 teams that are headaches in the East, with Boston probably being the best of all of them. I'll get a couple more of these in here. They didn't want to pay Luka the max, period. Cool. They're idiots. Because if 29 other teams would pay Luka the max, then what does it say about, what is this, just one GM that thought, I'm going to outsmart everybody and not pay a top 3 player in the world? They're idiots. So there's nothing there. Let's see what else we got here. Somebody said Sliwa for LA mayor, and then somebody said he's from San Diego. I got to be the San Diego mayor, guys. They need help in San. I got to help my city. LA's got everything. LA doesn't need me. Well, I hope that's not the case, because I do like talking Lakers basketball. AD is out against the Sixers. Yeah, he's going to be coming back soon. Doncic was set to make $75 million a year. Can I tell you guys something about NBA contracts? Remember, there was a time where Mike Conley was the highest paid player in the NBA. The reason why he was the highest paid player in the NBA was because of the timing. And then Jaylen Brown was the highest paid player in the NBA because of the timing. Luka not only should be the highest paid player in the NBA, or one of the most, but also the timing would have made him, obviously, like I said, would have made him also the highest paid player. Don't pay attention to the funds in the NBA when it comes to the best players in the world. They're going to get everything they need to get. Like, I don't think there's a question about that at all. They're going to get the absolute most. There's a salary cap, and if LeBron was in the open market when he was 32, he should be making $100 million a year. It's just how it works. But there is a salary cap. All right. I think we're going to wrap this up here in just a second. A really, really good show. That was fun. That was really, really fun. It was fun to get a chance to be obviously down at the Lakers training facility. It was really fun to kind of break down my experience while I was there, and getting a chance to obviously talk about just kind of the vibe there, and then break down all those clips. Let me just kind of set some stuff up, and then we're going to call it a day. I'm back on tonight. Tonight I'll do the post-game show from Inglewood after the Lakers take on the Clippers. We'll get a chance to hear from JJ Redick. You'll get players' reaction. Obviously, they're going to be asked about the trade, LeBron included. All these guys are going to get a chance to talk about that. So make sure you tune into the post-game show. We'll do that live. We'll have a really good show lined up. A couple quick shout-outs. Number one, thank you to anybody that's been on this channel and that's been hanging out. I really appreciate it. If I can get you to subscribe to the channel, would greatly appreciate it. If you want to go a step further and you want to be a member of the channel, oh, that'd be amazing. I will have exclusive content that I am going to do for members, And I'm looking forward to kind of have a little bit more of intimate Q&As and things along those lines. So if you want to be a member, and shout out to Brad Wallace and the Wallace firm for being the first partner on my YouTube show as part of the Sliwa show. So thank you very much for that. There'll be more partners coming. I think this is just the start of what we're trying to build. And obviously, my first job and duty will also always be to try to give back to the channel and try to put together the best content possible. Thank you for being a part of the show. I'll be back later tonight. Have a great rest of your afternoon, and we'll catch up with you guys soon. Thank you, everybody.